Hi everyone, Bitcoin here from the Big Chubowski. Fourth week of the fifth season of Grand Arena. My opponent, Cast32 here, is quite a formidable one. He's got a Darth Revan with 349 speed. I thought my Darth Revan was fairly speedy, but that's 9 speed over mine, which probably makes him among the faster Darth Revans in the game. And if that wasn't enough, he also has a 317 speed Bastilla Fallen. So he's gotten quite lucky in the fast mod department, because if I look at his roster, sorted by speed, then I actually still beat him in terms of speed, but he simply had more of the faster mods, which is helping him quite a lot. Made some interesting decisions who to put his fast mods on, like Arc Trooper here. Rage Jedi Training also incredibly fast, 285, and an overall a pretty familiar roster for this GP. Nothing that stands out very drastically. I'll have to be a bit mindful of this Relic 4 B2, which could get tricky to burn through. But yeah, all things considered, very good roster. My whole week has really strong opponents, so it should be pretty interesting. Now my opponent's already attacked, and as you can see, he didn't clear me, but he did get pretty far. So in the front zone here, I actually put my Treya this time, and for the people looking to do feats, don't do this. This is not how you get feats done, because we have the Sith Lord feat, which I honestly didn't look at. I didn't realize it was going to be just today, so that one's not happening for me with all of these Sith on defense. That one was one shot, but I didn't expect to need it on defense, and it helped me to set my board up in such a way that if my opponent would have set his Darth Revan on defense, which I don't believe he did, then he would only be able to clear one zone. So that was sort of the strategy behind what I did. Now, I often said Grievous with BB-8. In this case, I used Newt because I knew it would make him risk sending in his Jedi Knight Revan, which wasn't strong enough to be able to take this team on. So what I noticed in his Grand Arena history is that he actually very often has to use that super fast Darth Revan to beat Grievous teams, because he doesn't have a proper Grievous counter. So he didn't do that in this case. That's why I set Newt here, to also potentially allow him to clear 2 zones. And I honestly thought it would be these 2 zones. So I put my Darth Revan in the back here, because I expected him to potentially still have his. He didn't attempt it because he obviously used his up elsewhere. Then 2-shot this team here, which helps me in case I cannot full clear his board, and I also have to do part of the board. The less efficient he is, like on these 2 teams here, the better for me. Then here in the bottom I had General Skywalker, and that's where he struggled a lot. I'm actually really impressed he managed to get through it. I didn't expect him to. I think he did use his Darth Revan here. It didn't work out so well, and then he took a lot of attempts to clean up just General Skywalker. So the Night Sister team, he probably used Padme there, maybe something else. Yeah, it doesn't really matter at this point. So we got through that, and then he took out the weak Rebel team here, and he couldn't manage to get through Ewoks. Now, these are not to be underestimated. It's in some ways pretty similar to a Karth team. If you're on like the depth of your roster, you're fighting with the last teams that you have, you really need something with good synergy to be able to break these teams apart. And that's why if you can make your opponent use up enough of their good teams, they can really struggle to take these out, even if they're in the back and even if they're such weak teams. So anyways, in order to beat my opponent, I'm going to have to clear 3 zones or 2, and just be more efficient in general on 2 of the other teams. But I think I should be okay there. And they've set the same as they always set, which is why I specifically put Treya on defense, etc., with a mild variation here in the Karth team. Sometimes he sets Kira, sometimes Karth. He makes some small changes like that, but in general the board is identical. So that was really easy for me to just write down the teams that I need to counter his teams, and then figure out what I want to set on defense. So I'll likely be using my CLS here to underman this one. Up against Karth, I will use the Rage Jedi Training mixed kind of team that I have. Over here I'll be using my Geos, and up against the Asajj team I can use my Bounty Hunters with Wat. Now in the back I expect him to have Grievous, Shakti clones, then Ewoks, and his Emperor Palpatine team. There could be some variation there, maybe he did something different this time, Like maybe he kept EP for offense to get that Sith Lord feed done. I don't know how serious he is about that, but that's pretty much what I expect. And I'm not really using any of my strongest teams in the front wall here. So with that said, let's get into it. I'll get started with the Newt team here. I just want to quickly check how fast Dooku is. Doesn't look like he's going to be. Just in the case I run into any kind of trouble. So what I mostly have to be careful of here is that I do not get stuck on Nest, because it could take a while. But honestly, I can just explain this on the go in case there are people that still struggle with this fight or don't know how exactly it works. So the reason why I check Dooku's speed is because if he's very fast, it could mess with me. I know the Nest is fast, so that certainly helps because it allows me to cycle quicker so that my spy can get its special off sooner. So you can tell here I was hurt a fair bit already. For this one I'm going to cleanse so that I can get going a bit quicker. I know that doesn't give me the dispel, but spy will dispel in a second here. So that's quite alright. Surprisingly no ability block. Okay. This should unstealth some of them. Good. Now I will save this special for Nest because I will need it at every opportunity I can get. And take out Dooku first. I will probably go for Newt next. I have to be a bit careful here of the Droideka. Ensure that my Brute keeps taunting, because if he doesn't, then I could get shot out, which will be quite painful. Like that. I lost my taunt there, and Droideka is about to take a turn, so this will make Brute re-taunt, which is lucky, but otherwise I might have lost a important character right there. So now I'm going to handle Droideka. I'm not too happy with the fact that I haven't managed to line up any turns with Spy yet. An AoE here would not be smart because it would make Nest get some bonus protection. So I don't want to do that. I really want Spy to get a turn as quickly as possible here. Just going to keep focusing on Droideka. Okay, this should be Spy's moment to shine, though there are no debuffs, but I will be able to strip all of the protection here normally seen. Oh, that was already a kill, because I crit. Perfect. Sometimes you have to do it in 2 rounds. You have to first strip the protection, then Nest will take her turns and stack her protection again, and then you have to come back around with Spy for a second attack. But in this case I didn't have to do that, because my Gear 11 Spy got some good damage in. Already kill off Newt here. Now I will not be able to recover my protection banners. I'm not too bothered about it. Maybe if my... Nah, it's probably not going to happen. But it's alright, I was expecting that. That's part of the game when using this team. Alright, that was simple enough. Now with those out of the way, I will proceed with the Night Sisters. I'm not going to repeat what happened last time, so that would be unfortunate. Like if I had no other option, I would take this team because the Talzin is relatively low on the offense. Spirit is decently fast but doesn't hit that hard. It's really Asajj to worry about. And if Zombie is too quick and constantly regains the taunt, that can also be a problem. But a lot of people don't put too much love into their Night Sisters. They just kind of assume that it's a strong and tricky team to deal with. But yeah, in this case I'll be using my Bounty Hunters with What? Because I just don't expect it to need What anywhere else. Separatists. And let's go. Now with What, it's really substantially easier, but if you're the kind of person who needs What in a lot of places, then obviously using him here is not ideal. It's much nicer if you can take on a team like this with some other stuff. I like to, even though Boba here can execute, I tend to like to give him the weapon tech so that he simply takes more turns, gets more ability blocks in. I find it more valuable than giving it to Jango, even though my Jango does not have the Zeta. So I don't want to do the special yet there because I haven't been plagued yet. haven't been damaged much yet. And Bosk special and Dengar special are the things that will give you back the most health and protection. So you don't always want to use them up very early. Now this one only has 4 debuffs. I don't think I'm going to kill here, so I should wait around. Just in case I waste the execute and then spend a lot of time trying to get it back. This is a lot better. Because of the weapon tech now, I take a turn a lot quicker. And there we go, this match is practically over. I just have to try to ensure I maintain max banners. Now, Asajj here can do an AoE, which could damage everyone, and Daka can hit 2 people. So it's best if I try to take out Asajj next, or try to stun her or control her in some way. I'll save this again, because everyone's at max protection. I don't really need to rush this. Might as well put the health tech on someone, let's say Django. This might kill, so I'm not going to use it here. I will strip this Foresight from Spirit. So it makes her hit harder, and there we go. That's the second kill. Now the next target's going to be Daka once I can get to her. And one more attack should trigger my contract. There we go. This should be kill. Yep. Now I want to make sure I end up with max protection banners here. What might fall a little bit short. I'll focus on Zombie for a little bit to allow Watt to get the protection back. Once he gets his protection up, move. I use this special now. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work actually. I haven't looked into that enough. I'll just finish it here. Not sure if it needs to expire or if it's even possible for him to get protection back at all. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I thought it did work, but it seemed to take quite long. So pretty easy 60 banners. If you can use Watt, he's amazing in so many combinations against Night Sisters, but it's a bit of a price to pay. Pretty similar to Thrawn. And there we go, Ewoks and Emperor Palpatine exactly as expected, also exactly in this zone. So I'll go up here next. I'm going to fight the Bosk team. Let's take a look here, 269. It's not specifically fast. I'll probably send in CLS, Han, Chewie, and C-3PO. The exposed damage is not amazing against bounty hunters because they mostly have a lot of protection and not so much health, but it helps. I don't really care about the protection banner lost. And just the 3 of them I don't feel super comfortable with because they're just gear 12. My old Ben is on defense, so I'll just take these on with this team. So always want to stun Bosk first. Dengar is also a nice one to stun, but I think I'm alright here. I think if I want to, yeah, let's go for him. If he stealths, then Chewie can unstealth. Hopefully this lands buff immunity. It didn't. The more I can control Dengar, the better. There we go. Perfect. None of these guys do AoE. Maybe I should try to deal with Boba Fett before he gets to take any turns. That's not going to happen. Alright, now Bosk comes in and taunts. Okay, Chewie was stuck for a while there. He'll probably... There we go. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to recover the protection on Han, probably. Which is okay, it's not a huge problem. It's just a banner. It's just not the kind of match where I need to watch every banner, so I like to just take it a bit easier in those and have a bit of fun. I'll still have plenty of challenging matchups this week. And that's just in time. Han is starting to get fairly close, so that's good. 60, good enough. And then we take on the resistance here. Well, use resistance rather. I did use up my C3PO there, but in this case I kept BB-8, so I have crazy turn meter control. I don't have to worry about my opponent potentially having their General Skywalker in the back, because if they beat my General Skywalker and all of those other teams without using theirs, then that's just amazing. So I'm just going to go in with the 4 of these. I don't really need to bring Kylo Ren amassed as I sometimes do, because he doesn't add anything here, he just costs me a banner. Among the 4 of these, they have so much control, they take so many turns, it's perfectly fine. That's a bit less exposes, but then again, from Carth lead they get a lot of crit damage, so that's kind of as expected. Going to stun Carth here, very nice. Okay, that's also good. Now I will put the Foresight on Rey Jedi Training. Not that it really matters with the AoEs, but I also like to, generally I put it on BB-8 to make him tank a fair bit. Hopefully this will kill him. Almost. I might as well start recovering banners as quickly as possible here. I will control Canderous, or kill him maybe. No, that didn't work out. I was hoping R2 would assist there and stun him. That would have been better, but this is just fine. Yeah, Finn is still taunting. Okay, that's Vander gone. I'll be stalling in the end on Zaalbar because I really need him to recover all of his protection banners. Though I have to be careful to not move too quickly here. So I will... Yeah, this is going to make Zaalbar retaunt, which is okay. Because Finn will need quite a few turns to get back up there. That's the downside of his cleanse, his heal. I'll call in R2 here. I don't want to get countered anymore. Yeah, it's probably going to be difficult to get them all here, but we'll give it a shot. Just do as many non-combat moves as possible. Don't let mission take any more turns. Although I do have Foresight, so I'll be okay. That was a bit harder than I expected. Then again, R2 adds a lot. I still need to get used to that. R2 being relict, he gives a lot more damage to the entire team. And sometimes my characters just hit so much harder than I expected. Yeah, this is not going to work. This is going to kill him. The burn. Don't know which of the two hits harder actually. I'll give the burn a shot. But it's going to kill, I'm almost certain. No? Okay, great. This will give her a lot of turn meter. Do I get close? No, not close enough. Well, maybe if Finn takes a turn before Rey here. Nah. Okay, well, I tried. That's 60. And in the back should be Grievous, and he does have his General Skywalker in the back. Oh wow, that's really impressive. That's absolutely crazy. So he managed to break through my General Skywalker, through my Night Sisters, my Grievous, all without using his. Because historically he always set his General Skywalker, well, he kept it for offense and then used Shaq T clones on defense. So I'm really impressed with that. He must have... So I'm thinking, what did he use? He had his Rey Jedi Training. Perhaps that hits a fair bit harder and gets some kind of job done, especially on a cleanup. So that makes the results of my opponent all the more impressive. I'm actually very impressed with that. Nice job to him. So there you see, you can strategize all you want, but sometimes people will surprise you by getting more done with their teams than you think. Now it shouldn't be a problem for me. because I can still use my Padme without R2-D2. I can use my Shaak T. May have to end up two-shotting this team, which also shouldn't be a problem. This one will be more challenging for my Jedi Knight Revan. I might not get the entire job done, but I knew that going in. And the thing as well about this General Skywalker team is that if it would have been Shaak T, I would have used Padme all the same, so there was sort of a calculated risk there. Now I might clear this zone first, just because if for whatever reason I would fail here, I want to make 100% sure that I get through it. So I will start with that. Let me just check how quick his Palpatine team is. Thrawn on defense, you don't see that very often. So that's a pretty slow Vader, but he does have the pre-taunt there with his... Okay, Thrawn is pretty quick with his Shore Trooper. So what I want to do against that, the thing is, if I bring Thrawn, and I would prefer Thrawn on a cleanup here against General Skywalker, then I'll have a problem. So I might actually go for that one first, because even if I beat General Skywalker and I beat Ewoks, I still win. I want to maximize my banners, obviously, but I don't want to take unnecessary risks and make cleanups really difficult for myself. So I still have Padme, I still have my Jedi Knight Revan. But after that it starts to get into random characters, and that could go wrong. So let's actually start with General Skywalker. Now this has gone, I'm not sure if I've ever lost against a 6-star one. It's possible, but not sure if I have. So let's give it a good shot here, this time with Shaak T. Yep. I'm actually happy he's here. I don't know, it's nicer. Not a huge fan of the Shaak teams. So he gets to reduce my cooldowns. That's always the less ideal scenario, because it makes everything take forever. And in the meantime, his Echo does build up just as much offense as under a Relic 7 General Skywalker. So I face all the same struggles, but toppling him is substantially easier. Okay, call Padme, which I cannot, but there we go. Now this is pretty annoying here if you look at how far General Skywalker already is along, and I haven't even gotten to attack yet. Really not a fan of that. I'm going to basic here because I don't want to run the risk that I kill anyone else. They're all pretty high relic, so honestly it shouldn't happen, but I am definitely 100% paranoid about this. So I'm going to basic. Good. Now I want to focus on Echo before his second grenade. Ah, dang, I was really hoping I would get him down there. That's going to hurt a lot. Okay, that was a lot less bad than I expected. I'm going to stealth you. Hopefully stun. Perfect. I do want to get to Rex quickly instead of Echo now. Oh, that was great. So this should kill him. Do I want to use a retribution here? The group attack. I don't really need the group attack. I do have some stacks on GK, which he will very likely lose if I don't use them. And the retribution, I'll give it. I'll just give it. Shaak has a good amount of stacks here, so that should help. And Ahsoka does too. Now it's really only GK who has some stacks here, but he also has Foresight, so that's good. And he's pretty low on health now, so I shouldn't be losing anyone anymore. Perfect. Might have slightly overanalyzed that one, but I wanted to make sure. Alright, well then I'm going to nest these guys. Let me just check. Logray here. Okay, he's got base potency. He doesn't love his log ray. You gotta love your log ray, man. Yeah, it's just gonna be nest. I don't really need anything else. But this will take a minute. Wonder what he ended up sending in against my own Ewoks. Definitely wasn't his nest. Or if it was, I will be happily surprised once again. So the main challenge is getting through Elder. I'll just AoE here to stop all the revives. But if you have a relic nest, then you cannot honestly call that a challenge. I'm pretty curious what the balance is, like what relic would Ewoks need to be and what gear would nest need to be for it to not work out anymore. If there is any such balance anyway. Alright, that's that one done. Then I'm going to more or less mirror this one. Whoops, you're definitely not in this team. Question is, do I really want to bring Thrawn or do I bring Death Trooper? Because Thrawn would be really nice on the cleanup up against Grievous. And Death Trooper can dispel Shore Trooper all the same. I think I should probably do the other fight first. Because if I don't make that in one go, then I can always get back here. Yeah, I'll see about that. The Grievous is very strong. So that makes me think that it's probably unlikely I'll one-shot this. Let's take a look at how he modded the rest. I think I already checked this one. So good speed, good offense. Tenacity there, that helps. The B2. That is some strange modding. Crit chance and tenacity. Perhaps he did this. I don't know, I'm thinking perhaps he did this so that his B2 doesn't get the taunting tech. Because even though Magna is still gear 12, yeah, he's got more. He might have gone with that for that reason, but then I'm not sure why he would put in crit chance sets. I know there's like a critical chance. Yeah, maybe he's trying to capitalize on this somehow. Like if I give them less critical chance, but that's not how it works. And I know there's also like a crit chance down or crit damage down debuff, but I don't know. I don't know if he's reading into the kit the wrong way, if I'm reading into it too much, but strange mod sets. Let's check Watt here real quick. He's got tenacity to 84 speed. That's fast. I definitely want to kill him before he gets weapon tech out. Or really anything more than the taunting tech on Magna. So let's give it a good shot here. I like Bastilla lead. Put Grandmaster Yoda here. I know a lot of people say things about putting Jolie in the second slot so that if there's an AoE kill and there's Savior under Jedi Knight Revan lead that he doesn't die, but from my perspective, Jolie is, for me, he's never been one of the people to die in an AoE. And now that I've said that, of course, it's about to happen. But yeah, he's healthy enough. It's always the other ones that struggle. So, Watt puts the taunting tech exactly as expected. I'm going to go straight for Watt here. Do I want to do anything else? No. I could reduce his turn meter, but I don't think I need to. It should get me the kill. I'm going to be triggering B2 regardless, so I might as well lower his stacks in the process. This is not going to get the job done. But I'll lose the buffs if I share them, probably. I'll just try to burn through Magna Guard, probably. He's only gear 12, so there we go. That was actually a lot stronger than expected. Well, that's good timing for me because I still have my protection up. But I'm killing too fast here. I have to be a bit careful about that. As long as Jolie is looking healthy, that's the main factor to look after. Careful now, because he's in the health. Do a turn meter swap, AoE, foresight up. Okay, I have to hope that Grievous does not go after Jolie at all. I'm going to try to kill B2 here, because Grievous is about to take a turn anyway. Perfect. Okay, I lost 2 characters there. Get a stun on you? Nah. Okay, I was about to do the basic there. Do not use the freaking basic. Foresight on everyone. I thought I would already have my direct focus, but that might be a little bit too soon. So keep dropping the stacks. He looks so close to surviving there. This is a bit tricky because if I use the direct focus here, Grievous is just going to lose it before I even get to the health, because I do not have my Grandmaster Yoda around. But I'll do it even if it's just to control him. I should try to buy as much time as possible here. So I want to use Jolie's basic because it reduces his cooldowns, and I also want to put Master's Training on Jolie here, also for the survivability on him. Now I'll turn meter swap. He can revive, and Grandmaster Yoda's back. So a lot of people think about Master's Training as the buff that they want to put on the attacker to deal more damage, but sometimes it's just not what you want to do, and you just want to more quickly get your characters revived. So that's what I opted for in this case. Now hopefully Bastilla can hand out the buff soon. I'm not really doing too much damage here. Reduces turn meter. Perfect. Can I recover any banners? Because we're starting to get into that territory. No, it doesn't look like anyone's particularly close. And this should be the kill. Alright. Maybe Jedi Rev. Nah. Doesn't look likely. Well, again, I'm happy enough that this worked out, so no complaints from me. It's 57. That's actually more than I expected, so I'm perfectly happy with that. That was a pretty easy match. And mostly just helped by the fact that his modding here wasn't too good, so I could take all of these out at my own pace and really control Grievous a lot. I think he only got 2 AoEs in the whole fight, rather than 4 or 5 that he might often get. So that was very doable. We've already won, well, since the previous fight, but now we can wrap it up here. So the Sith Lord feed is not happening. He doesn't really gain any turn meter from these guys, so I'll just go in with this combination. Now my Vader is substantially faster. Not too much faster than his Thrawn, so I will possibly get someone fractured, but more likely, it depends on who he turn meter swaps with. That's what it's all about. So I'll fracture you and try to get the ability block. No, I didn't land it. That's a pity. Well, hopefully I'm about to get some stuns here. That's really not as many stuns as I hoped. And not on the characters that I hoped. Yeah, that's too bad. I should try to get 2 kills with Palpatine here. This really needs to be an ability block, and it is. That was pretty ironic. This should line him up for a kill. Okay, perfect. I was a bit worried about the offense up there. Don't want to use an AoE here. I will ability block you. And now get the first kill going here. Oof, that gave them a bit more turn meter than I anticipated. Alright, this should stun. Is anyone going to get a chance to ability block Palpatine? Because that seems to be more pressing than Vader. There we go, yeah. Come on, we've got tenacity down here, people. What more do you need from me? I'm not landing anything on him. Yes. I'll just fracture him. He's the last person I need taking turns right now. Okay, so I'll just force crush. Ability block, sure. No. Okay, fine. Oh, I really thought that was going to be a kill. Dang, he's going to die from dots next. Oh well. Sure will also taunt, or just not taunt. Palpatine should get the turn here, so that's good at least. Let's see, I would prefer to recover banners here because he's going to take a turn anyway. So I'll put it on Darkin. Proceed to debuff. He shouldn't hit too hard. Okay, good. I think I'll kill Tarkin here because otherwise he's going to go pretty crazy on me. Alright, perfect. That's a kill. Do the AoE because it hits less. And this will kill, I guess. So I'll need to get one more kill with Palpatine maybe. Actually, I'm trying to think. I think I killed Vader here and Thrawn with my Palpatine. So I should be alright for the feat. 59. 1906, that's a decent score. Yeah, I did get it done, okay. Nice. Yeah, this one's not happening. This one I did very nicely. Still gotta remember this one. I always forget the fleet arena ones. Anyways, yeah, this one quite hurt my opponent in terms of banners. It's not nice to make it difficult for people to get to Kyber, but I mean everyone you fight in Erodium in this last week is trying to get to Kyber. So yeah, having a faster Darth Revan, as you can see, is great, but it's not really great if you don't have counters to be able to deal with the other things on the board. So even if you get very lucky with mods, it doesn't guarantee you any wins. And yeah, I mean, I had some good matches. I was pretty happy with the Bastilla versus the Grievous team. This is around the Grievous team that I feel comfortable with taking on, with only relics on my Grandmaster Yoda and even a Gear 10 Hermit Yoda. Pretty much purely because of modding. If they were super well modded, then I might have struggled. If the Watt was relicked up, for example, then it would have been a no-go for me. But in this case, I was able to do it. And happy about the Padme fight too. Even though it's a 6-star Skywalker, still nice that I had everyone standing in the end. So that's it for my match. Hope all of you have a great week. Good luck at reaching Kyber, and see you all soon.